Oh, how are you?
Great. How are you?
Good. I am kind of jello-y. I just worked out and I feel like, my goodness, I didn't realize I did a little 5-minute hit at the end of my workout and that did me in, I think. Did you get a chance to watch the recording?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
My husband's gone for 10 days, so we're on day 9 of 10. So
He's
I'm still
almost
in
back.
I'm still in survival mode, so
Yeah, I understand.
so
Okay,
tomorrow.
but so you do know that all of the link I shared with you, it's like it'll auto populate.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, some women don't know that and think I didn't send it to them. No, no,
No,
no,
I
it's
got.
on there. Well, how is your diastasis doing? Have you checked it or anything?
I haven't. I
Okay,
haven't.
not yet, not yet. Okay.
No.
Are you able to do the workouts? Okay. Have you been
Yeah.
doing them or breathing? How are you doing with
Yeah.
breathing and wrapping and workouts and everything?
Good. So the breathing for week 3 and 4, I actually have a question on for the extended exhales. Are Okay, should I be taking a breath in before I lift my leg and then holding that um like tightness of muscles even when I'm breathing through them? Like hold it in one, or do I like hold it and then let it down each like that, or you know what I mean? Because I was like thinking of just like
Yeah.
having my leg up and then letting it like exhaling. I don't know if I was supposed to be doing that or not supposed to be doing
Um, so if you would hold your leg up, that's going to be kind of an ab workout.
that.
Sure. And I don't know if you would cone or bulge on that. You could,
Mm-hmm.
but you're free to do just laying your leg down too.
Mm-hmm.
So um, so you would just breathe in. I'm not here. I have to do it so I can explain it correctly, like in my brain, so it comes out good.
Mm-hmm.
So just breathe in as you're holding, as you pull it up, and then
Mm-hmm.
so you could just blow out as you hold it and then lay it back down. Does that make
Mm-hmm.
sense?
But do you keep your abs tight, or do you relax and let your pelvic floor, like do a deep breath with your pelvic floor, everything
I want
relax?
you to do, with the extendeds, definitely do a deep breath between each of them so you're
Okay.
getting that lengthening in.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. All right, we're on the right page now.
Perfect. Okay. Great.
Okay. How
Great.
does that?
Yes.
How does the new positioning feel for you?
Fine. Yeah, I definitely
Okay,
couldn't
good.
have done it 2 weeks ago
Okay, so you're
by
getting
me.
stronger then. Awesome.
Yes, I can feel that, and I can feel like my left leg's a lot weaker than my right leg. So even holding up my left leg by the end of it, I have to be careful not to like compensate by like twisting my back or flaring my ribs or something. I can feel my left leg is just a lot weaker
Okay.
for that
Okay.
side anyway.
And a lot of people are going to have one that's stronger than the other. That's just how it is. Um, but yeah, I always say there's a method to my madness with the breathing because a lot of women would not, like you said, wouldn't be able to do that in the beginning.
Hmm.
So I always say, if any of the positions that you come into are too difficult, just go to the previous one and then keep trying the new one. Go to the previous one and then keep trying the new one.
Hmm.
And then that way you'll work up to it.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I was ready for it,
Okay,
so
good.
it was good, and I like the side. I'm playing on the side too.
Oh, okay, good, good. Is
Hmm.
there a position that you feel it more in? Your engagement or anything?
Definitely when I lift my legs, I guess.
You can feel it. Oh, good. Okay,
Yeah.
that's
Hmm.
good. That's really good.
Hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
So, do you have any problems with the workouts as far as
No,
pain?
sometimes no, no pain. I mean, just more like weakness. I mean, sometimes I can only do like 2 rounds.
Okay. Yeah, and two
Um,
rounds is okay.
yeah. So, getting to the end of the week 2, I was able to do like 3 to 4 rounds for everything.
Okay. Okay.
Um, but then coming into week 3, it was more like back to 2.
Yeah.
But
It's like, that's why I say don't skip any of the workouts. They do get progressively harder.
Mm-hmm.
When you're doing squats, do you feel, and lunges, are you feeling glute loading? Are you feeling your glutes really well?
Sometimes,
Okay.
I don't know. With squats, it's like, I don't know. It's really hard for me to feel my glutes when I'm squatting, and I don't know why that is. Um, I don't know. I guess I feel it more on like my hamstrings. No, what's the top of your legs? Your quads, top of your thighs.
In the front.
Yeah. So like I definitely feel more there. And I don't feel it in my glutes as much as I think that I should be.
Can
Um,
you squat for me where I could see you? So I could see, is there any way that I can see you? I love your walls, by the way. Every time I see them, I'm always like, oh, I love those brick walls.
I know Europe, you know.
Oh, I love them.
All right, let's see
I
here.
should live there.
It's beautiful. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
I'll just do it. I guess I'll just do it so I know you can see it, and then I'll
Okay. And then
come
maybe
back on the mic.
make sure you lean it forward enough so I can see you. I
Yeah.
want to see your glutes, your knees, and your feet.
Feet? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I want to see your feet too. Yeah. That'll be good. Okay.
Sorry, so where can you hear you? Could you see it? I can't
Yeah,
really
I
tell.
could see. Okay,
Okay.
hang on one second. I'll be right back.
Sure.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So I can tell exactly what you're doing.
Ah,
All right,
great.
so you're doing the classic thing that a lot of people do. And when you're squatting and you think you're probably staying over your toes, but you're coming here, do you see where my knees are?
Uh-huh.
That's what it looks like to me. You got to come
Okay.
back and keep these more vertical. And one of the ways that could help you is, so you can try this with me on. So keep this in front of you and you can't move. So you're not going to be able to move that.
Ah, okay.
It's really good. And you probably, at first, you may only can come to here and come up. So, and then you may fall back. So see if you can put something in front of you real quick so I can see if you can feel that in your glutes better.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So even if so it's better to just stop and not go down as far.
Yeah, because I need you to get your glute strong.
Okay. And I'm like clenching everything.
When you come up, blow out.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Okay.
All right.
But right now, I'm just kind of focusing on your form because I just want the glutes loaded.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay.
I can do this. Maybe I can use. All right. I'm gonna get a chair. Hold on.
Better.
Okay, I see.
Do what?
Yeah, I see. I can feel it.
Okay, you can feel
It's
a
totally,
difference.
yeah, it's totally different. Okay.
Okay, so that's where sometimes people can do that and still not feel their glutes. So I have to do a little different things. But since you feel it,
Yeah, that feels right. I totally thought I was like as back as far as I could be in my mind, I guess. But
yes.
putting the chair there is like a huge, like, no, go back, go back, go back. Okay.
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna fall over
Yeah.
if I do this. So, okay, so what about in your lunges? Do you feel it, your glutes in your lunges?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
But I
awesome.
feel like I'm going up on my like weight on my heel,
Good,
like with
good.
my weight on my heel.
Oh, can I watch that like this?
No, you can stay on Tick and Willie, or you can watch, um, a movie or something on Netflix. Okay, and keep it turned down, and you stay in here. Stay in here. Bring Mercy in. Okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I don't care.
I have to stay. I want to stand there because Mercy's so comfortable and I want to lay with her. Okay?
You stay on what you're supposed to stay on.
Okay.
Yes, Mommy? Okay. So, do you have other questions about that?
No, not about the workouts. No, I don't think so.
Okay, so none about dialysis or anything? It's all good?
Yeah, trying to think.
I'm so sorry. Hang on. What, baby? On the bed? Huh? You hit it when you were getting up? I'm sorry. It usually doesn't take her long. She comes in and cries and then off she goes. That's what she does. It's so funny. That's all you needed? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, good. All right. So no questions like, oh yeah, okay. So you didn't watch that with Janine. All right. So since your hubby's been gone, were you able to do anything that we talked about last Friday? And if so, how'd it go?
Yeah, so I went through the worksheets, or
Okay.
the inner healing worksheets.
Okay.
So really good, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, not super applicable to me. I feel like I haven't had so much or deep trauma as most of those things
Mm-hmm.
are like talking about, but obviously like a lot of that, I mean, a lot of things still apply to everyone in some capacity. So, yeah, so I really liked the last sheet. It's like the I am statements
Yes.
sheet. Yeah. So I think that's something that I'll definitely go back to over and over. I just really like how it's written out and the verses of where it is. So it's like, because when sometimes you read it, especially some of the or was like some of the self ones that I was talking about, like self-worth ones, and at first when I first read it, I was like, in my mind I could even feel like, oh well, that's not really true, and then I'm like staring at the verse and I'm like, this is like the word of God, it's true, you know what I mean? Like,
it is the word, yeah.
like, I'm like staring at the verse, I'm like, nope, this is there, it's right there, okay.
Yeah, you can't argue with that. That's
Right.
why I love those, because you can't argue with them. That's such a good point. Yeah.
So yeah, so I did that, and then I began writing down like affirmations as I have been thinking of them, and
Oh, awesome.
So then my goal is to like just do that, read my goals and the affirmations each day.
Okay.
Like together.
Okay, good. And you've been doing that?
I just started that.
Okay.
I mean, like the affirmations part.
Okay. Does it make you feel any different?
Yes. I mean, it's still like, I think early in some of these to but I can tell I don't really believe them.
Okay.
Like 100%. So I'm like reading them, I'm like, okay. But there's still this the sliver of this doubt in the back of my mind. So I'm like, it just takes time.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I did write down a question for you today as I was working out. Sometimes when I'm doing my stuff for my clients, I always think of different things. So it's just what I put down is what stops you from fulfilling dreams, or are there any obstacles that you continually run into?
What stops you from fulfilling dreams?
Or do you dream?
Yeah, it's cool. Every year for New Year's, my husband and I, we have a dream day. So we
Awesome.
write
I love
down,
that. Yeah.
yeah, so we go through like all of our dreams from the past year and talk about them, and then we like think about, pray about, and make a dream list for the upcoming year. So we started doing that like 3 years ago, and that's like what brought us to Europe. That's what kind of, led us to adoption and like do all of these other things. So, but I guess probably what keeps me from doing, I guess I always put dreams that pertain to myself last.
Okay. Yeah. A mama thing sometimes.
Yeah, and then always, and then on a transfer that to a daily basis is like, well, having 3 toddlers is ultimately time consuming. So sometimes I don't have
How
like
old are they?
24, 3, and 2.
Yeah.
So and they're all like, I like still dealing with the transition of the adoption, and still, so like everyone's kind of very needy right now.
Mhm.
So I don't even have like 20 seconds because somebody needs me for something.
Yeah.
It's not like they go and play by themselves nicely ever. So,
Yeah.
um, so a lot of it is just having just no time. Like at the end of the day when I put them to sleep, it's like I have to choose: do I exercise, clean, clear the table and put the food away? Do I, talk to my husband, or, to like pick 2, not the 6 that I should do, shower.
Yeah.
So, so it's kind of, it's trying, so with this program, like I've been doing every day, always the breathing exercises and the wrapping, and
How are
just
you on
doing that no
alignment?
matter what. Hmm.
Are you working on alignment?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
And
awesome.
it's great because I really feel that we walk a lot here, a
Yeah.
lot.
Okay.
So I'm always walking. I walk for like an hour at least a day, with the boys, and I'm always paying like really, that's my time. Like I can pay a lot of attention to how I'm walking, how I'm standing, how I'm, where my hips are, where my ribs are. Um, so I do that all the time. Like that's my big alignment. So I really feel really good about that because I can feel when I'm out of alignment, I guess.
Yeah.
And I notice it and I can like, oh no, let's go back. So um wait, no, what was the original question? Yeah.
Oh,
So
sorry.
just always putting like, yeah, always just putting like anything that pertains to me last, so
Okay. So what would be something that you would like to have now that you put last that you don't necessarily get to?
mm, um I want to have time to pray every day and to exercise every day. Those are my 2 things that I either choose one of, or you know what I mean? Like I feel like I have to pick, um, for the sake of time, or
You know,
I do both at poorly or something.
I was thinking, okay, so when you say prayer time, what do you want it to look like? What should it look like for you in your mind?
I mean, I think I need like 15 minutes of silence.
Okay.
That's probably that would be my like I would feel pretty good about that. 15 minutes of
So there's nowhere like in your day you can carve that out right now.
no, not before the boys go to sleep. I mean,
Okay.
maybe when my husband comes back because he's done with school, so the summer could look a little bit different.
Yeah.
But up and like while he's in school and
Do you do prayer time at night or in the morning?
I want to do it in the morning. I don't.
Okay. Well, and that's what I was going to say. Sometimes, hang on one second. Bree, what are you watching? I know, but what do you have on? Just show me it. I get nervous with her with my phone. If I can't see her. And so she was like, I'm on Netflix. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
I know.
great, but
What are you watching?
I
know.
Oh, there's so much yuck stuff on, you know?
Yeah, a lot.
So I can't remember who I was listening to, but let me read it. Okay, that's fine. Okay.
It's okay if I watch Cruella and different movies, only if I know what they are, okay?
If I have let you watch them before, then it's okay. Okay. I was listening. I mean, this lady had like 10 kids or whatever, and I remember she would do stuff like she'd leave her Bible out on the table, just open. So when she'd go by it, you know, she would take time just to read a scripture or something, and she would meditate on it just for like 2 minutes or something. Or she would get like, if she was cooking, she had an apron, she would go under her apron and just pray for like, yeah, like 3 or 5 minutes. And I was like, you know, she had 10 kids and she's getting this in. And I read a book one time called Practicing His Presence. And so, because it was a time in my life when I had all the boys at home and I was homeschooling and it was so busy. And I just remember God saying, I'm with you all the time. You can take 1-2 minutes and pray, and I am right there. And he said, I will talk to you right then because I know the season that you're in. And so I know it's nice for us to have that, but God also knows we are in that season. And there's just so much grace for us moms in this season with these kids.
Yeah.
You know, so, and even if I even moved my prayer time to my nighttime sometimes because I thought there's just no way this is going to happen for me in the morning. It's just not going to happen. So I would pray for about 5 or 10 minutes at nighttime, and boy, I slept peaceful. And you know, it set my day up. So just looking at my day and seeing, okay, how can I readjust my day? Or, you know, maybe I want it in the morning, but maybe I'm going to do it at nap time, and I'm going to let the dishes sit for just a minute so I can have that time with God. You know, just readjusting things. And maybe you do that. That's just some of the stuff that I have done, you know, throughout my day. And just when I say that I'm practicing his presence, boy, that has helped me so much because I can actually get right into his presence like that and know you're here right now in the midst of this chaos. And the other thing that I learned to do with my boys and Bree is I would say, hey, Mama wants to pray. You want to come pray with me? And oh my goodness, some of the stuff that they pray about, or I even say, is God telling you something? And I'm telling you, God will speak to you through your kids when you sit there and say, what's he telling you? You know, and you can journal in front of them and they can like have this little journal and pretend to write or whatever. And some of them aren't going to do that. It's not going to look perfect. I know that. But just bringing them into that sometimes helps. And I know it's probably not like, well, I need the 15 minutes of quiet time for myself. I do need that. And I do understand. But it's just kind of adjusting. So, I mean, do you do those things? Do you adjust, or do you just think I just can't do it?
Yeah, it usually, so um, I just feel like I run out of like energy.
Hmm.
Like I'm the kind of person where like I get to a certain point in the night and I give up everything and I just go to sleep. Like I can't
Yeah.
stay awake a minute longer.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, so I'm always like, I don't know, I guess I need to just make decisions beforehand so that at the end of the day I'm not tired of making the decisions of like, am I going to do the dishes or exercise or pray or take a shower or you know what I mean? So it's
Yes.
like I get to the end of the day, I'm like, I don't know which one to pick. You know what I mean? Like I need to do all of them, but I know I
You
can't
can
because
pray in the shower,
this is true. That's a
and
good
you
point.
can pray while you're doing the dishes.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You can pray out loud while you're doing. That's practicing His presence.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get used to that, I don't know about you, but sometimes I don't necessarily hear God in prayer.
Right.
But it's when I'm doing something else, it's like all of a sudden I'm like, something comes to me and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been praying for this answer. And then something came to me. And it's when I'm scrubbing the floor or
Mm-hmm.
it's when I'm blow drying my hair. For some reason, my hair, God talks to me when I'm doing my hair and when I'm in the shower. I don't know why. And when I work out and during worship. So that's the other thing I do is I turn worship on. So in the morning, especially if I haven't had my prayer time, I turn worship on with Bree so she learns to worship. And we just worship God together and we pray together. And I did that with my boys. I had all of them and we would just do that together and pray. And they've learned to do that and they love to worship now. So it's just finding that time to get everybody together to do it if you
Mm-hmm.
don't have the time.
Well, we're always together. So
Yeah, so bring them into it.
yeah,
Teach
that's a
them
good
how to
idea.
pray. Teach them how to worship, and wait and see what
Mm-hmm.
God says through them. I am telling you, it is amazing what God will say. One day, we were praying, and my little boy came up to me and he said, "Hey, Mama, Robin's gonna have a little baby boy." And I said, "What?" And so I thought it was so funny because that was one of my friends. And I called her and I said, "Hey, we just got done doing worship and praying, and this is what my son said." And she started bawling and crying. And I said, "What's the matter?" She said, "I just prayed for confirmation that if I was supposed to have another baby, that it would be from the most unlikeliest source." And she had a baby boy like 11 months later.
Whoa.
Yeah. So
That's so crazy.
that's what can happen when you bring him into everything, you know?
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So if that kind of helps you with that, just
Yeah.
finding time there as a mommy. And God has so much grace for all of
Mm-hmm.
this. So if you're too tired at night, do it with worship in the morning with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good
Because
idea.
that is not wasting your day.
Right.
A lot of moms, including, okay, I've got to get this laundry done. I've got to get the dishes done.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do this. Let's do that. And then sometimes we set that on the back burner, but that really sets up our day and teaches them so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Okay. So, just even writing out things like, what do I want my drink? Because you're really good at this already. It seems like y'all are good. Y'all do uh, dream days. So
Mm-hmm.
writing out what you want what's your dream day look like? And just writing out, okay, what does my dream day look like, God? What do I literally want my dream day to look like? Because if that's in your heart, why can't you have it? And then that's something you can start praying about and start believing for, that this is what your dream day looks like. And maybe it'll include the kids in worship and prayer so that they can hear, So yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
my 2 cents worth right there.
That's awesome. How do you also do that with exercising? Like, do you exercise with Bree? Like, I mean, you do it while she's awake, obviously. So,
Yeah.
like, how do you include her in?
Well, I have little weights for her. I have these little
Okay.
bitty weights, and I have little like ankle weights that she can do. And the boys, I've always worked out at home. I haven't had maybe I had a gym membership for the summer just so we could have a pool. but I've always worked out at home, and it's just something they get used to. And if I get interrupted, that's okay. I come back to it. Sometimes my 20-minute workout might take me 45 minutes because I've had to do something with the kid, with Bree, you know, and I just know that that's going to do it because I'm being a mommy and I'm taking care of myself. And so, yes, and the boys would climb on me. And then as they got older and I didn't have to watch them anymore, I would say, you're either working out, if you're going to stare at me, you're going to work out with me in here, you're going to go play. I mean, and these are things that I did. And all of my kids work out now.
Okay.
So they all work out. They love to take care of themselves. I get pictures sent Snapchat to me of my boys because they live in Midland, Texas. And like, because they've been, like, Morgan has been working out so much, and like, he doesn't send this to anybody else, but he sends me selfies with his shirt off and he's flexing. So that's what I get. And so they all like to take care of themselves in different ways. They like herbs, they like oils, they try to eat healthy. So that's just by me leading by example. So if they don't ever see you work out, you know, if you do it when they're asleep, then they don't really learn that habit. So in your mind, you've got to figure out, can I work out with them right now? And even if they crawl on me, can I laugh and make it a game, you know, put them underneath you? Or, no, you're not going to be doing push-ups. But
yeah, I see what you mean though. Yeah.
Glute bridges, you can put them on top of you and do it. And chest presses, I would press my kids, and we would just do different things. So yeah, that's the life of a mommy. It's not going to look as perfect, but they're learning a lot from us just by doing that. And I will ask Bree, because now she's 4, but you can't really do this with a 2 and 3-year-old. But she'll be 5 in September. But I say, hey, I'm going to work out. Do you want to work out with me? Some days she says yes. Some days she says no. Some days she says, are you going to stretch? Because she loves stretching and she loves yoga. And then if I'm doing a HIIT workout and jumping around, she comes in here with me and does it. So what I do also, if she decides, okay, I don't want to work out with you, I will have certain little bins or things that she can do. And I'll say, okay, these are 3 things that you can do right now while mommy works out. And this is how long that I'll be working out. And that works pretty good. Now, the 2-year-old's going to be a little different, but, you know, I say, you know, give them some snacks or whatever just to keep them busy.
Right. Yeah, that's a good idea.
So does that help?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
So when have you been trying to fit everything in?
Usually in the evenings.
The workouts and everything?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you don't, when you wake up in the mornings, do you just sleep as late as you can and get up with them?
These
Sometimes
days,
we need,
yes.
Okay. Yeah. I was going to say that's probably the most important. Some moms try to get up really early, but if you're up in the night, or I'm always like, get your sleep.
Yeah.
You need the sleep.
Yeah. If I don't get up in the middle of the night, which is more often than not, I do get up in the middle of the night at least once or twice. And then I'll usually get up early, but we still have the 2-year-old because we adopted him. So he's in our room in his bed, but he's like super sensitive to sound. So if I leave the room, he'll wake up. So if, you know, and a lot of times he will wake up like at 4:30 in the morning. So it's like, don't move.
Don't move. Yeah. Have you ever used and I don't know if you want to do this because it might drown out sounds in the house for your other ones, but I use a box fan.
Oh yeah, I do too. I have 2 fans on in our room, but he's like, we live in an old flat, so like the floor creaks a lot and the door creaks a lot.
I know Bree is just like that with the sounds, so I understand. And the box fan seemed to help her, so he's really sensitive. Now, how old was he when you got him, or how long have you?
We've only had him since March, so.
Oh yeah, you are adjusting.
Yeah, so it's just, this is like just adjusting time, but it's also light here at 4:30 in the morning. So while we have the blackout curtains and everything, the second I open the door, the light, at 4:30 in the morning, like come through. So If I open the door, he will wake up with the light. I know, it's insane.
Yeah. So getting to bed on time is going to be essential for you, huh?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I was just thinking, for new mommies, your sleep, your stress level, if you can keep it down, and stress level, keeping stress level down. If you're not a type A, you're not type A, are you?
I am, yeah.
Oh, are you? Okay. I can't tell. Like, some type A's are like, and you're more like, So I'm like, I can't really tell, but I can tell you're more detailed than me.
I've been working on it for a long time to not be so intense.
Yeah. Okay. So so your stress levels down is going to be important. So yes, you definitely need to do your diaphragmatic breathing. Don't skip any of that. Get as much in as you can. Learn to breathe with that diaphragm, because that helps. And then of course, so okay, so this has been on my mind for a couple of my clients lately, and it's not anything we haven't really talked about, but I guess I just kind of laid it out a little differently. But it's like, okay, in the mornings when you wake up, what are the thoughts that you have, and how's your day? Are you already stressed before the day starts, and are you these thoughts just going through your head of what? So just reframing our thoughts and saying, oh, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. You can say, I get to do this. I get to spend time with my kids. I get to work out with my kids. Oh my gosh, I get to pray with my kids. I mean, you're totally just speaking probably opposite than maybe even what you feel. You may not even feel these things, but just saying, I get to do this. And if he wakes up at 4:30, I may not get sleep right now, but I get to spend time with them. And Lord, thank you that you are replenishing my sleep, that I'm going to have plenty of energy every single day for all of these children that you've given me and blessed me with. And it's just a matter of, okay, and so if you're laying there stressing about the dishes or laundry or whatever, it's just a matter of reframing those thoughts into how you can make it a positive all the time. Because if you're somebody who has the stress levels, you got to bring those down, and that is going to help you to bring it down.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always thinking of everything at the same time.
Yeah. Well,
so all of my tasks, and I'm the kind of person, so it's like my husband is totally opposite of me. So I feel like I can't relax until everything is done. And he has to relax before he starts doing anything. He has to take a break first or something to gear himself up to
Or in the middle of it, does he take break and you're thinking, why are you taking a break?
Yeah, why are you sitting down? Yeah. So he's like, well, just sit down with me for a few minutes. I'm like, I will when every single thing is done. I'm not. It's really hard for me to relax if there's something that I need to be doing that's just sitting there.
Yeah, but he's a gift to you.
I know he is.
He is, because mine's a gift to me, because I can get that way like you are, and be when if there's a movie on, I'm like up and down, sometimes up and down or whatever. But what God showed me one time is, because I'm doing something and he's watching a funny video. He's like, hey, come here, come watch this. And I'm thinking, I do not have time to sit here and waste my time and watch this funny video. I just don't have the time. And laughter is medicine. That's what God was telling me. Laughter is medicine. So okay, I'm gonna watch these videos with my husband just a little bit, and so he's been so good to me, for me to relax, to say, okay, let me sit here with you for a little bit, or let me watch these funny videos, and I literally feel more lighthearted afterwards. And that is doing so much for our health. So your husband's more laid back then?
Yeah, he's super laid back.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. That's just kind of what I suggest with this. And do you focus on lists? Are you a list maker? And are you really good? You're good at getting stuff done then?
Oh, yes.
Stressed or over. So you've found what works for you. What works for you and everything. Okay. Okay.
Hmm. Yeah. So I was a project manager for 3 years and worked at a big law firm, and I worked on Capitol Hill for a while. And so it was like the epitome of work as fast as you possibly can and get the most done and never stop working. So I lived in that world for like 7 years, um, of just like it being in Washington, D.C. and just being like, I mean, everywhere else is slower than that place. I mean, if you're not running up an escalator, you should be fired from your job because you're going too slow. I mean, that's like the pace of it.
Oh
So
my gosh. Now I would
bringing,
not like that at all.
no, you would hate it,
Oh my gosh.
but type A people love it. It's
Mm.
like brings in they live off adrenaline. Like it's basically I lived off of adrenaline for like
Yeah.
7 years straight.
Wow, I would look at them and say, see you later.
Yeah.
This is not for me.
Yeah. It's totally crazy. It's not normal at all, not natural. But yeah, so but it's like I don't know, I'm energized by that kind of feeling of like, let's go, let's go, let's go. Um, so I don't know. So having not working there anymore has been like I've had to it's been process over years of just trying to like slow down
Yeah.
everything and like my expectations and my thinking of like, why can't we do this in 3 minutes? Because if we can't do this in 3 minutes, this person should be fired. Like they're not doing their job. You know what I mean? Let's go. So it's like just calm down.
Yeah, just calm down. Yeah, got
Yeah.
it.
So
Okay, so do you think that you bring that into your parenting and taking care of the house and everything?
I
That
do
why
that with myself. Yeah,
so
I do it
is
with
that why you
myself.
don't have enough time?
Um,
Because there's too much stuff to do?
well, there's definitely too much stuff to do. But I try, I guess I think I try to like, I don't know, separate my kids more from it than maybe I should
Yeah,
should be doing. So
yeah.
like, okay, let's focus. I mean, we'll sit and read like 100 books in a row or something like that.
That's
You know what I mean? Like,
awesome.
and it's like we're just reading. Bring me another one. Bring me another one. You know, we're like, what do you want to read this now? Great. Like we'll sit for 2 hours and just read books. So it's like that's what I do. So I do things like that. Or like let's go, for a bike ride. Let's go for a scooter. They're out on their scooters and so then we'll be out there for 2-3 hours and then eating and so it's just
Yeah, being a mommy.
yeah, so it's hard because I don't know, just because they're so little, it's hard for me to think of them as being able to do things like having the concentration long enough or not fighting with each other long enough so I could exercise, for instance. Um, but like you said, like if it takes you 45 minutes to do it, you did it still. So that's right.
I
That's better
still
than not
did it.
doing it.
Yeah, I
So
still did it.
that's a good.
And maybe not, okay, and I definitely don't like to tell people parenting skills at all because nobody's perfect. But I was thinking 2 hours of books because this is what I hear from moms because we think we have to do all this and have to do all this for kids, but then we put ourselves on the back burner.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's important, like maybe you could say for an hour instead of 2 hours, we're going to read books, or I'm going to work out for 30 minutes and then we're going to read books for 45 minutes or
Mm-hmm.
something. That way you are taking care of yourself. Because if we don't take care of ourselves, we end up being stressed, we end up being sick,
Mm-hmm.
we end up being, it's just not fun.
Mm-hmm.
We have to find things that, working out is going to help your endorphin levels come up
Mm-hmm.
and
Right.
be happy. And so, yeah. And I'm really good about that part. I'm really good at saying, okay, we've done this. Now it's mommy's time. And I used to not, but I do that now. And
Mm-hmm.
I've done it with Bree. She's been tough to do it with because she is she's very aggressive. She's very needy. She's not like I've had two strong-willed boys, but she's a whole nother level.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've had to really work with her on this.
Mm-hmm.
But working out and taking care of myself is very important for me. So I've brought her in with me, or I tell her this is what we do. And I have a fun little timer, or I put it on my phone and I time it. I say, when this dings, mommy's done. And so she knows that I'm going to be doing this until it dings.
Mm-hmm.
And that helps train her to know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. So, so just just like I said, with us putting our dreams on the back burner.
Mm-hmm.
But our family are our dreams, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
They are, and how we want them to be, and just all of that. That's just part of our dreams. So, yeah, you got a lot going on with 2, 3, and 4-year-old. My Amanda, one of my clients. Have you seen her videos? She's got 7 kids, 9 and under.
I need to watch her video. She used to give some parenting classes videos.
Yeah, she's good. But she grabbed a hold of all this positive stuff and mindset stuff and speaking stuff. And now she's gone to her chiropractor, and she sees things like little signs that will say, do this for health. And it'll say something about positive mindsets or speaking. She says, that needs to be number 1. That's like that. He was like, I agree, but I'm not changing it. she will talk to them. And she's really been she's taking a break on social media right now, but she'll share in the Facebook group stuff. I'm just like, it's just helped her so much. It's changed her whole life. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, that's about it.
I mean, well, like you said, it's totally different when you wake up in the morning and you're like, is it morning already? My thoughts, like, I just fell asleep. Like, I literally just thought I'd blink my eye for 1 second, and here we are.
Yeah.
We're going again, and it's, but just changing your whole thought instead of this, like, almost dread of waking up. It's like, I get to do these things, and I get to have, like, blessed with one more day,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's, and maybe you do this. Do you do grateful things? Do you write down what you're grateful for?
Yeah, we do that. Try to do that at the end of every day with the boys.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. And so us getting to do that, like, I know in the mornings where I get attacked at is the thoughts for my day. And so I just lay there very still before I get up, and I start thinking about all the good things and what I get to do and why I get to do it. And then I'm so happy to be with Bree. So I say stuff like, the morning time is some of our best times together. We just enjoy each other. And I know, like I said, this is so different than what a lot of people do, but what's the alternative?
Yeah.
It's what we've been doing. It's why we feel stressed. It's why we feel depressed. It's because we're not changing from the inside out. Mm-hmm. So you're just in a season right now. Mm-hmm. You're just in a season. This season's going to change, and there's going to be something else pop up. So the seasons, the challenges never stop. They don't ever stop. So that's why you have to learn this now. Because my oldest is 27, even though, I mean, you deal with, oh my gosh, she's fixed to move to LA. Okay. You have to think, did I plant seeds enough? Did I, give them a good enough foundation? Then you have to, okay, here's a daughter-in-law. Now my son's married, I mean, he's married, and one of his, and I did not love her at first. She's bossy, and I was griping to my husband one day about her, and I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not. I am going to love her and speak good things over her. And now it's wonderful. Mm-hmm. But it would not have been if I hadn't have changed it. And I call her and I text her and I love on her, and, and it's so good. Mm-hmm. But I don't believe it would have been if I would have let all of that negativity hit me. Mm-hmm. So I can see everything I'm doing. I can see testimonies in my life for how it's changed my entire life. It's changed my mom's life too. Because her whole atmosphere of her house is different, because I'm like, no, you don't want to talk like that. Nope. Let's turn it around. And she's like, I said, you can gripe to me, because I taught you this, right? You can gripe to me and get it out, right, about the wall. Mm-hmm. I'll be your sounding board. Let's get it out. All right. Now, what do we want in this situation, and how are you going to feel, and what are you going to do? And she's like, okay. I said, because you can gossip and talk about this, but it's going to feed it, and it's going to make that root grow deeper, and it's going to be harder to get it up. I said, so let's just have a little teeny root, and then we can just pluck it, pluck it out. So she's like, okay. Have you heard of Dr. Caroline Leaf? No. Okay. So write her name down.
How do you spell the last name?
Leaf. And she's a Christian neuro lady. And I've seen her at my church and everything. And I've learned a lot from her. And she goes into how we are neuroplasticians, and we can change our brain. Like, we change our brain, literally. And she goes into the science of it. If you like that kind of stuff, if you're nerdy, she talks about how you can actually watch these dark trees and branches grow in your brain, literally on a scan, when you start thinking about these things. And then you can see them change when you change your thoughts.
Wow.
It's pretty cool. And
really cool.
She's got a show. I don't know if she still has it on Trinity Broadcast Network, but if you Google Caroline Leaf TBN, you could probably see some of her shows, and then you could listen to her. So if you don't have time to read, sometimes it's easier for moms to listen to things. But yeah, she's got like Who Shut Off My Brain and Who Turned On My Brain and books, and I don't know if she has them in audio form. She might, but you might really love that since you're really detailed. And you might really
I like that stuff.
I eat that stuff up. So, but
That's
yeah,
really cool.
Look her up and see. You will learn a ton. I've learned a ton from her and just from so many other people, but she was my start. When I started going, oh my goodness, I can't even believe God made us this way. Like, we can totally change this. That's why he says, as a man thinketh, so is he. He's the guru. He's the guru. And all these new agey people are saying all this. And I'm like, yeah, well, do you know where that came from? I mean, you can think all that you want, but it really came from God. I'm just saying. Okay, what time is it? I know you need to get to bed.
Oh, so. Yeah. 10, almost 10:30.
Okay. All right. Well, so what are some things that you want to do this week as far as your goals? Since we've talked, what are some things that you think would be good to do for you?
I think I want to practice the morning, like, mindset.
Okay.
Like, and it's just so funny because, like, every time you are give me an example of turning something into a positive sentence, I'm like, I don't know, I never would have thought of that. Like, my brain is not even thinking in those words. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, oh gosh, I'm like writing everything down that you say. Like, I get to work out with my kids. I just would never before have made that sentence in my brain.
Yeah.
So that's good. I could tell it takes practice, but so that's what I want to do is like practice this.
Well, I didn't have these thoughts in my head either. They just come naturally pretty much now as I've been doing it so long. So whenever you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed, stop for a minute and say, what are my thoughts that caused me to be here? Because our thoughts are what are creating all these things in us. So when you're feeling overwhelmed, just go, okay, wait. How am I thinking about this situation? What are the thoughts I'm having? And how can I turn this around? Because we get to determine how we feel. We get to choose how we feel. We get to choose our thoughts. So, and you're probably going to deal with a lot of overwhelm because you have 2, 3, 4-year-old little toddlers running around. And some of that's going to be normal. But, if we can be as happy as we can, and maybe I told you this, but I put on fun music. We have a time out and we say, okay, it's joy time. Let's get some joy going on. And we will put fun music on and we dance around and we just have fun. And music just lightens up everything. Even doing the dishes, like I do the dishes as fast, with the music, and it's fun. And then, I'll set the timer and go, okay, are you ready? We've got 15 minutes to clean. How fast can we beat the timer? And she's like, okay, and she's running around. And so it's those kinds of things and games. And I'm sure you do a lot of these things, but just that keeps me out of stress mode. That keeps me in joy mode. And joy is our strength, right? So we just need to have some joy.
Joy time.
Joy. It's so easy to be like, oh, all these heavy thoughts, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Totally. Awesome.
Does that give you enough for this week?
Yeah, I think so. It just takes, practice, time to practice. So.
Okay. Good. Well, I'm glad I asked that question. Because,
yeah, me too. That's a good question.
So you can say, I'm not making time for myself, or I'm putting me on the back burner. And that's really important that you don't. But you find ways that even if you work out with your kids, you are getting time for yourself. Like you are doing that. Now, there are certain situations, like when your husband comes home, you can say, hey, I want to go take a bath or a shower, or I want to go for a walk by myself. Will you do that for me? And that's important. But we don't really get to do all that when they're not here.
Mom, come look at my bed.
Okay, I'll go. I heard something in there. Did something break?
Yes.
Okay, I will go look at it in just a minute. Okay. Yes.
Oh, so cute.
Well, you get some sleep. And I'm so glad your husband's coming back.
Yeah, me too.
Wait, he's going to be gone one more day?
Yep, he'll be back Saturday night, tomorrow night.
Okay. All right. Well, and he's done with school after this?
He's done for the summer.
Oh, for the summer. Okay.
Yeah.
Woohoo! That's a big thing.
Yeah, that's big.
When will he be done totally?
Next year.
Okay. Well, it's coming up.
Yeah, for sure.
What's he doing?
He's getting his master's in transatlantic studies, so like the U.S. and Europe and government.
You are coming back to the States at one point. That's why you were.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you excited about that?
We love it here. It's actually helped so much because the lifestyle here is so much slower.
Yeah. I was going to say it's a slower pace. I remember I went to Italy and I just couldn't believe walking and they closed up shop for lunch and all the families were just sitting in there having lunch or whatever. And I think, or it was not at lunch. It was probably like at 1 or 2. And then they enjoy life.
Yeah, they do here. It's been a really good class instruction in, everyone works here so that they can enjoy life and have life with their families, and everybody's really active and they're always going to the mountains or going to the lake and hiking, biking, everything. So and it's just so much slower. It's amazing. Yeah, so it's been really helpful to be here.
Yeah, you're making me want to go there. Okay. I'm going to start speaking that. This is where we're going on vacation.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you have a good night.
Thank you. You too.
Okay. And let me know if you have any questions over the thing with Janine that we went over when you have a chance to watch it. A lot of information. Okay.
Awesome.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.